Good morning, and welcome to Winnipeg. Now, before I forget, in the rollback, which we are going to have, I did come back to the model table last night, and I got a fair amount done here. Well, you have to watch the rollback to see. We should be done step 15 today, I think. All being well, unless there's some painting involved. Okay, but in the rollback, I talked about the clock. I just want to show you something here. I'll try and get it so there's no reflection, but right there you'll see a little symbol just between the top of the 7 and the 2. Looks like a little tower with a little arch over top of it. Well, that indicates that the clock got the signal last night. Okay. Now we're going to adjust it just right. We don't want a reflection. Okay. Yeah. For that to make sense, you're going to have to watch the rollback now. Anyway, what else is there to talk about here? I don't think we're going to have a sunrise again. It's too early for the walkers to have come through, so I can't dub that in. Okay, let's maybe what we should do is just roll back while I get myself recomposed here, and then we'll continue on. Okay, so what I want to try and do here this evening is glue this little box up, and we're going to just rely on our elastic band. I hope the extra thin is not going to cause the elastic band to pop. Now you'll notice I've got waxed paper here. Maybe just let me zoom in just a little bit here. Okay. Yeah, I've got the wax paper down on top of the plexiglass because there's a chance that the glue is going to, when I apply the extra thin, it'll run right down and glue itself to the plexiglass. I don't remember if I've ever done a test to see how extra thin, works with plexiglass. Anyway, let's just give it a whirl here. I think we basically got it. I'm not going to be poking at it once I start applying the glue. I'm just going to let everything sort of meld together. Probably put lots of it on. And then after maybe tomorrow morning, I'm going to flip this over and we'll do it from the other side. We're just going to let it run in. I suppose I could be using a hypodermic needle too. I can see it wicking its way along pretty good there. This is gonna, once this is glued and dried, it's not going to be coming apart. I do believe that right now we are doing the underside of this thing, and what we're touching right now is actually going to go on the top of that piece that I painted black that I was saying I should maybe repaint. Yeah, the melding process will work really good here. But it's going to take a while. I don't think I need to put it on any heavier than that. So I guess that begs the question, why am I putting more on, right? Okay, let's just leave that now and see what happens. I don't know if it's run right through to the bottom or not. I'll just turn it carefully and see if it looks like it's on the waxed paper. This is just cereal box. I think it's plastic. I don't think it's waxed paper. I don't think they use waxed paper anymore, do they? Okay, let's not poke at it and get it all out of whack here. I think we did pretty good. Oh, wait a minute, there's a bit of a gap here, isn't there? I don't think I can squeeze this together any better. No, just the way it is. Okay, it is what it is. It is what it is. Okay, I have paged back to step 15. And I just want to see, is there anything else we could possibly do this evening, and so that the glue can dry overnight. Now, clearly this piece is this piece right here. And then clearly this piece is this piece, and it is the deck. And so we'll turn it like this. Maybe I should be recomposing so that when I stand it up on end, because I've concluded that this is probably the best way to glue this together, is stand it up on end. So I'm just going to back the camera up just a little bit so that we can see the top of this as well. Yeah, it's just standing there all by itself. Now, if you happen to be looking away over by the surveillance monitor and can't see the clock, I caught it, don't worry. The reason you can't see the clock is because it's over by the window where it will catch the radio signal from WWV in Fort Collins, Colorado, which is a long ways from here. And then it will set itself. Now I want to be really careful I don't break some of these little parts that we've glued on there. Now this goes like this. And then this one here, it goes maybe I should be putting this one on first. This one should stand by itself pretty good, and then all being well, these two slots here should fit in. Yeah, and they do. Now I wonder, maybe I could use the elastic band thing again around to hold this together. Don't move, don't anybody move. Some of these elastic bands have lost their elasticity. Now very carefully here. I think that should be just enough. Maybe it's not tight enough. I wonder if I should be using another one. This one feels pretty brittle. Yeah, they're falling apart, some of them. Some of these rubber bands I picked up quite a while ago when I went to Kelowna to visit my mother, and that's got to be going on 6 years ago now. Okay. Yeah, that should make a nice fit. Okay, so how does this look? I think it's pretty good. Just make sure that it's seated well down in here, and then I think what we'll do is we'll use the extra thin again right down in here. We'll glue from the bottom and just let it sort of wick its way along, and that way it's not going to run up on top of the decking here. I'll recompose, and we'll bring the camera in and we'll try and so you can see what I'm doing. Now, I just was realizing that it might be difficult to glue these torpedoes down onto this torpedo tray. I had been thinking I should be able to just, you know, slip them in and glue it down, but maybe that's not going to work, so I'm going to have to take this all apart here very carefully, and we're going to have to glue these onto that tray first. So let's be careful now that we don't break this. Now I'm going to turn it like this so I can see better what I'm doing. And okay. Now we'll get the other one off. Being very careful not to break this. Okay, we made it. Alright. Well, that was a waste of time, wasn't it? Well, that's the way it goes. There's, you know, I'm not under any kind of contract. So, alright, now, I'm going to want to hold this tray level, so I'm going to have to maybe put it in a clamp or something. I'm just going to recompose. In the meantime, let's get this thing somewhere where I'm not going to be breaking off little wheels. Where could I put it? Maybe over here? Okay, if I remember right, when I glued these all together, I used this tray as a template, so the contour should be just about right here. And I don't think we want this flush with the end here. We'll just have it in just a little bit. Now that's a nice tight fit, but how do I get the glue underneath there? And how do I know where they're going to adhere and where they're not? I think maybe what I should do is use some CA thick, or not CA, but Tamiya thick, and yeah, and just smear it on here and then just let it harden overnight. Okay, let's give it a whirl here. Okay, yes, this is it. Now this is not real thick, but it won't run as bad as the extra thin does. Now remember, this is the one that drips here, and because I don't know, you know, where it's going to touch and where it isn't, I pretty much got to do the whole thing. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do here. Now, this underside we're not going to see, so we don't need to worry. The only thing, it could run here, but we're not going to see that, so don't worry about it. And this does not dry right away like the extra thin does. trouble with this one. I don't know why. Okay, it's starting to melt the paint. Okay, I think that's probably going to be good. So I'm just going to get myself above this now, so I'm getting it on straight basically the first time. All right. All right, now it'd be nice if all of that was touching, but of course it isn't. All we want to do is just have it so that it doesn't fall out of place when we glue these other pieces together. And I do believe I've got everything far enough this way that it's not going to interfere. Let me just check here. All right, so this is going to go right there, and there's nothing protruding out here that's going to catch on anything, so I think we're okay. I'm just going to get right over top of it here if I got it right. You know, I can feel that it's starting to glue in place already. You know what? I think we're going to have to leave that. There's not a whole lot more I can do here. Yeah, okay. Well, we'll see you in the morning. Okay, I think we may as well check these parts out in order of how we did them. And, no, this did not glue itself to the wax paper. This is the first time I'm looking at it. Now, this should be fairly strong. I don't know if I need to be putting any glue down in the corners there. Well, maybe I will. Maybe I'll just drop some on the inside right there. Just on the inside. I'm pretty sure that it's going to be fairly strong the way it is. I'm not going to try it to see how strong it is, because it's going to be in a place where I don't think it really matters. Now it will be in a position like this on top of the. You can see here that this is kind of curved. Well, that's to so it will fit on top of that other piece, which I forgot where I put it. Oh, it's behind me on the clock. Not the clock that you see in the distance, the other clock. This house is full of clocks. I think there's about 15 of them altogether, if I include the ones on the microwaves. Okay, let's recompose here and maybe just drop a little bit of glue on the inside there. Oh, first let's take a look at that other part. Yeah. Now, once again, I'm not going to test this to see how strong it is. All it needs to be is just strong enough that when I'm handling it, the torpedoes aren't going to fall off. And I think they are. I think it is. Okay. And I'm not seeing any sign of, glue oozing out over the sides. Well, mind you, we're going to be looking at it from this side like this. Yeah, this is the side we're going to be looking from. And I'm not seeing any glue on the platform underneath the torpedo. So it doesn't matter what kind of a mess it is underneath those torpedoes. And if you watch the rollback, you'll know that I made quite a mess. Okay, now once again, let's be careful not to break this off. think this is probably going to wick its way into places where it's needed. May as well catch this too. Okay, this is going to be, I would say, super strong, and the thing of it is, it doesn't need to be super strong. So why am I doing it, right? I don't know, just sort of a thing with me. I kind of have this thing about you got to over glue. I think I did that a lot down in the workshop too when I was welding. I would over weld. Yeah, okay. I can't remember how many years ago it was I got these. It came as a set. Home Depot had them on sale. Really low price sale, and I thought, hey, I'm going to take advantage of that. So when I went to pick them up, they gave me a coupon that allowed me to get a free extra battery. Now, these two batteries are made in Japan. This one is made in Korea. I don't think it makes any difference. But, yeah, I've got this extra battery. Now, I'm going somewhere with this. Okay. This morning, I was thinking about when I drop something small on the floor and I can't see it. In the past, I've been doing one of two things. First of all, took me a minute to remember where I put it. I will use this, and it kind of works. You know, I think I got that from Princess Auto here in Winnipeg for about $2. And it came with batteries. It was, anyway. Yeah, but generally that's not quite enough. So I will take my spotlight, which I often use here on the model table, and I will sort of wangle the cord around under the table and use that. And that's like super bright. So I was thinking, you know, I should get a decent LED flashlight. So I went on Amazon. Well, it turns out that DeWalt makes a light that plugs into this, or that this plugs into, maybe I should say, and it was also on sale at a pretty good price, so I ordered it this morning. It's supposed to be here tomorrow. So yeah, I'm kind of anxious to get that. That's going to be really handy. I've got the extra battery, you know. Oh, and it's kind of funny. If you were to buy the light without a battery, it was about 1/3 the price of what you'd have to pay if you got it with the battery. The battery was the expensive part. Well, I already had it, and of course I've got a charger. So yeah, I like these things. They go nice and slow if you want. Well, this one, in order for it to, you know, it's a hammer, right? I guess you'd call it a screwdriver, whereas this is more of a drill. And this one has a couple of speeds, so you can slow it right down. Okay. Have I done a tool review now? Is this enough? Okay, let's move on. Okay, here we go again. Being very careful not to break off our little red and green wheels here. I'm finding that as I get older, it pays to move slowly. Now, we found that the elastic band system worked pretty good. I'll try that again. Oh! Stuck on my fingers. Also, I find when I get older, my fingers don't go the way I want them to. Okay, now, once again, it's not pulling tight here, and we do have to glue that. I wonder if, I wonder if maybe a clamp, just one of my little clamps. Well, we'll do the elastic band thing. It worked pretty good yesterday. Yeah. So pull it like this. Okay, that's giving pretty good tension on this. Now we want to make sure that this is square, because I'll be sopping it with the extra thin along in here and here, and the same, on the other side. I remember in the rollback I was talking about coming in from the back, so that we're not going to be seeing it, on the bulkhead. Okay. I don't think it really matters which one I do first. I just want to make sure everything is properly seated. And I think it pretty much is here. Okay, let's recompose, and maybe we'll do this one first. Right in there. Okay, once again, that's going to meld, and it's going to be nice and strong. Maybe I need another drop right there in the middle. Or maybe not. I like to sort of pool it on in a case like this. Okay, now we do the bottom. Now, I have a slight problem here. I don't think it's going to cause me problems further on down the road, but it could. We have 3 contact points here. Where's my pointing stick? Okay. There's this platform here, and then the full length of it, or width of it. Then there's our torpedo platform. And then we've got down here. Now, I can't get all 3 to contact at the same time. It appears that when I glued probably this piece together, with the part that we just glued a minute ago, it might have been out of whack a little bit, because you notice I've got, let me hold this down, okay? In order to get this contact to fit, it raises this one up. So I have to decide here now, what 2 do I want? The middle one is always going to be in contact. Now, I suppose what I could do is, although it might be a little late now, I was going to say maybe could shorten this one by a fraction of a millimeter, and that might make the difference. But I think that in all likelihood, we do not want to, let me just push this down here, to have a gap here. See, you notice it get a bit of a gap going on there. So I think that it is probably important, more important, to have this flush against the bulkhead, and maybe worry about this later. It could be that this will, excuse me, will spring a little bit. It'll bend a little bit. But then by bending it, is it going to throw it out of whack slightly for when we mount this in the main hull? I don't know. I think I'm sort of damned if I do and damned if I don't. Well, one thing's for sure. The middle is going to have to be glued just the way it is there, so I may as well just do that. I wonder if I should be using my hypodermic needle on these. Oh, I'm getting it on the... I'm going to get my hypodermic needle and see if that might work better, because I'm going to want to put quite a bit in. Although, mind you, I don't want to put so much in that it's going to flow out onto the bulkhead there. Okay, if you will remember, I made this thing up way back when we were doing, I think, the Bismarck already. And it's still working, so we'll see if it'll draw. Okay, now the trick is going to be to not flood it in so much that it just goes nuts. Let's just carefully see what we can do here. Okay, now very gently squeeze the plunger in. Can't see it. It's starting to form sprue goo already. Okay, that's going to be quite strong once that melts. And now for the top platform. Okay, we'll leave it the way it is. Some places it's going to make contact, and some places it's not. Now, let's see if I can get it so that you can see what's happening in there. I'm just trying to get the needle way in there. It's hard to not all of a sudden have it shoot out on you. There. Okay, is it making a mess on our... No, it's not making a mess, but I can see it glinting there, so I know I got it. Okay, we'll do the same on this side. This side is might be a little easier. It's more square. Okay, I might have put too much on. Let me just check here. No, it's not running up into the paint, so that's not too bad. But you can see that it's wet there. So no, I don't think I want to be messing around with this one until the other two dry or finish melting. So let's see. Is there anything else we can do now while we're waiting? Thank you, Arlene. I didn't time it, but I'm guessing approximately 2 hours has passed here now since we put this glue on this piece. Oh, by the way, isn't that Muffin Man tune catchy? I really like that. Okay, yeah, when I was editing, I noticed that I had missed this, getting this flashing off of where this push-out pin is. I think that was probably what that was, some sort of push-out pin. And, yeah, so it would have been a lot easier to have got that off of there when this piece was nice and flat, and I could just lay it down, you know, on the model table. But it's going to be kind of awkward right now, you know, risking bending this part and all that kind of stuff. But I'm going to give it a try here, because I think that this piece might be seen from underneath if you were to look up from the bottom of the hull, because we are viewing it from this edge, looking this way. Yeah, this will give me a chance to try out Jane's chisel. I think it was Jane sent those. Yeah, I feel kind of bad when I can't remember when somebody sends me something, and you know, after time goes by, I forget who it was. You know, I can remember Chris's file and Mr. T's pointing device and stuff like that. But yeah, and Tony's tweezers. So I think it was Jane. If it wasn't, please comment and set me straight. Anyway, we'll deal with that later. I just wanted to let you know that I did see it, because if I saw it, other people would have seen it too. Okay, let's just recompose here and check and see if our glue has dried. Now, I would think that it's probably going to be a little bit soft yet. But not too bad. No, not too bad. I'm pretty sure it's going to be really safe to handle this right now. Now, if I put a lot of stress on it, this sort of glue will slowly let go. Set alarm for 12:55 p.m. today only. Okay, now I hope you appreciate the fact that I did not say, you know what, out loud and set off phones all over the world. Okay, yeah, now if I had have said set reminder, she would have asked me, and what is the reminder for? And the reminder, as you probably are guessing, is to watch Oz Scale Modeling at 1 p.m. today. Once again, I forgot, and I came to the party real late. In fact, I think when I finally got it going, it was just in time to hear Peter say, well, that's all for today, folks, or something like that. Yeah, so I want to catch it at the beginning if I can this time. Now, Peter, if you're listening, I won't be able to watch the whole thing because I got a lot of editing and stuff to do, but I do want to just drop in and say hello. And I appreciate your channel. Yeah, anyway. Okay, this is nice and strong. I think maybe I'll take my sanding stick and just run it over the edges there and try and make these nice and flush. Okay. Yeah, I think it was this one here I was noticing it just wasn't, these four, or this edge here is not the same plane as that edge there. Alright, this looks pretty good to me. What if I could maybe, no, this is, I don't need to worry too much about this. It's going to be down on top of the, on top of the part, so, okay. Now, I was wondering afterwards if possibly Chris's file would work better, because these sanding sticks, they have a tendency to bend, and I might be able to put a bit of a bend on the end, whereas the file will basically stay straight, and I can keep it you know, just take it down just a little bit. This one here is only slightly higher, maybe just I'm guessing not even a quarter of a millimeter higher than this one. You know, I can sort of feel it there. Just want to get rid of that edge there. So I'm going to just try it, and I want to also watch that I don't let the file rock in like this, because then it'll sort of gouge this out. So just very carefully here. You got to sort of get the feel of it. I know the sanding stick is much easier, but just take it down until I can just sort of see that this corner here is the same as this right here. At least that's the plan. Maybe if I held the file from a little further back. Almost there. Okay, I would say that's probably close enough. Now this one here, this corner's not too bad. This one is a little bit high on this part. So just get the bumps off, because the melding kind of, just in case this piece has to come up against something, I want it to be up against whatever it is. Okay, I think that's probably good enough. Okay, I might have made it worse, but I don't think so. I think I made it better. Okay, we are done with this. We are so done with this. And let's maybe just get rid of some of the high spots here. This thing is kind of rocking over, like it's not square. So it's kind of hard to, just any little burrs that might be there. I don't know why I'm getting so meticulous with this thing. Maybe it's because I'm trying to put off painting. Do you suppose that's what's happening here? Okay. Now, is there anything else we can do here in step 15? Yeah, actually there is, but I don't know if I have time or want to do it today. I thought I'd be done step 15 today, but obviously I'm not. Okay. Now, I did say that I didn't want to be putting any stress on these new glued up joints yet. At least prolonged stress, because it could slowly let go. You'll notice that this side of this platform is nice and flat, except for this part. But I was talking about, you know, taking Jane's chisel and getting rid of that. And I was wondering, how am I going to be able to, you know, support this? And I was thinking, if I was to put this, now I got to be careful I don't break this stuff off. But if I was to hold it down with a clamp, now I don't want to take my left hand here off of the, you know, the supporting the weight. But tomorrow, when this is nice and hard, and this will get as hard as though this piece and this piece is all molded together. It'll be nice and hard. Okay, then I could clamp this down, and then I could put pressure, lots of pressure on here with the chisel, and it does require a certain amount. But we're going to have to do that tomorrow. Now, I know it's just a little afternoon here, but there is other stuff I want to do. Like I want to catch the beginning of Peter's program today. And at least just to say hello, Pete. Okay, yeah, I'm going to call it quits here for this afternoon. This video is pretty long already. I've flapped my lips here enough. So, thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we're going to see you tomorrow. I almost forgot to check here. Did the walkers come by this morning? Yes, they did. At about 7:28. Now we'll see you tomorrow.